up, everyone? Can you hear me all right? Can you see me all right? What's up, pal? Cool. We'll wait for everyone to kind of join in here and then we'll start. What'd you guys all trade today? What's up, Adam? What's up, Bear? So last week was a heat wave in New Jersey. Every single day for a week, it was 106, 107 degrees. Now the heat wave is finally over and we got 85-degree weather. Finally, the weather is nice here. But it's only gonna be nice like this for another month and then fucking winter is gonna start again. I really gotta get out more and do more of these walks. I used to do it almost every single day. I used to exercise. Now it's every other day, and I gotta really fix that. There's no Bugatti here because I'm in a new neighborhood. My neighbor now has a GTR. It's so funny. Like, we have a trap house here, and there's so many sick cars parked outside of it. It's just, I remember Tosh sent me a meme. And he said, like, when you pull up to the trap house and there's S-classes parked outside and stuff like that. Just funny stuff. I am, yes, Christian. I believe in God. Yeah, so my game plan today to kind of avoid boredom trading is to go to the liquor store and buy my neighbors some alcohol as a gift. That they don't call the cops on me when I have a party. Give it a few minutes for people to get in here. It's a little bit early in the day. The topics that I'm going to talk about today. Oh wait, the Instagram Live is lagging. Do you guys see it all right? Is Instagram Live working? Let me know if it's working all right. If not, I'll restart it. Oh, that's a nice house. You guys see me and hear me all right? I'll restart it if I have to. It's decent occasional lag. Working all right. Better now. Works now. Okay, cool. So yeah, just a little bit of a backstory. The topics I want to talk about today are how to bounce back from a loss and some of the mental sides of trading. I did an Instagram Live on Monday and it didn't end up saving. So there was a lot of good topics discussed in that I kind of want to revisit and talk a little bit more in detail. So let's go over kind of what happened yesterday, what happened today, and you know what I did right, what I did wrong, and how I could fix it. So yesterday I had a losing day. And the reason why I had a losing day yesterday is because I deviated from my process. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean? What I ended up doing is there were no small caps that were moving yesterday. It was only bigger market cap stocks. And what I do, what I focus on, what my edge is that I focus on the scams. I want to find the worst companies, the scam companies, the bullshit companies, and bet that they're going to go down, right? I don't want to be messing with some real companies. And the way I consider a real company is this. A, if its share price is over $5 a share, or B, if the market cap is over $50 million. So if it has a high market cap, it's usually an avoid for me because that means it's a real company. If it has high institutional ownership, usually anything above like 50%, that's kind of sketchy to me. So what ended up happening yesterday is there were no stocks that fit my criteria. There were no scam companies, there were no small cap companies, there were no bullshit companies out there. So what ended up happening is I started to trade stocks that were outside my niche. I started to trade stocks that, I don't normally trade. I don't trade high market cap stocks. I don't really trade stocks above $5. I don't really mess with that stuff. But yesterday, because nothing else was moving, I fucking dipped my toes into the water, like Bao says, and a crocodile came and ate me, right? So let me kind of recap what I did yesterday. So CHMA was moving yesterday on news, and I was kind of just shorting 770s and shorting based on the $8 mark. And I looked away literally for 30 seconds. And when I looked back, the stock was up $1.50 a share, and I lost $5,000 in less than a minute. So losing that much money that quickly kind of fucks with your head, right? It messes with your head. And, in my mind, I told myself, I have a choice. I could either walk away if I'm not mentally stable, or I could take a 10-minute break, recollect my thoughts, and come back stronger. And that's exactly what I did. After I took the loss, I walked away for a little bit. I got my head back together, and I came back and I traded it. I made back about $2,000 of that loss, so I ended up losing around $3,000 yesterday, which really sucks. But at the end of the day, that's a number that I'm okay with because I know that I can make that back in a day. So something that's very important about trading that a lot of people don't talk about is it's not how big your wins are. It's how small your losses are compared to your wins, right? You want to be able to lose small so that you can make it back quickly, right? You want to be able to lose small so that you can make it back quickly. So yesterday, I was very stressed. I was very annoyed. I stayed at my desk from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Didn't eat lunch, didn't really move, didn't do anything. And that was kind of my punishment. I wanted to punish myself for breaking the rules. So there always has to be strict rewards and punishments for following and deviating from your rules. So something simple that I do is if I deviate from my rules or if I break my rules, I force myself to stay in front of the computer. I force myself to eat a shitty meal. I force myself to kind of stay in the house as punishment because I never want to do that again. I want to feel the pain of being punished so that I don't do it again. Just like Bao says, if you touch a hot stove, you're never going to do it again. So some rewards I do for myself if I stick to my process, stick to my system, is I'll go get an expensive dinner. I'll go eat ice cream that day. I won't work out that day, right? I'll do stuff like that just so that it reinforces the fact that, hey, if I'm sticking to my right process and I'm doing the right thing, I'm going to be rewarded. I want that steak dinner tonight. I want that lobster dinner tonight, whatever it is. Just stuff like that is what I do to kind of get my mind right because, trading is all mental. It's all mental. And something that's very important that we have to take note of is that after a red day, you have one goal. You have one goal after a red day. And that one goal is to be green. Doesn't matter if it's $1, doesn't matter if it's $10, doesn't matter if it's $100,000. Your goal the next day after being red is to be green. And why is that so important? Because after a red day, no matter who you are or what level you're at, you doubt everything. You lose your confidence. You doubt your system. You think that you are wrong. You think that whatever you did is going to be wrong forever and you're never going to get it right and this and that. You screw up your head. So being green the next day means that you get your confidence back. Being green the next day means that you got your mindset right again because the truth is trading is all in your head, and until you get your mind right, you're not going to get anything else right. So coming into today, my goal was to be green. I don't care if it was $1, I don't care if it was $10. I just needed my confidence back. I just needed to be confident again. I needed to trust myself again. I needed to trust my system again. I just needed my confidence back. So, coming into the day today, didn't really see any setups that I liked, right? I didn't really see any setups that I liked. So, I kept reminding myself, yesterday, I didn't see any setups I liked and I lost money. I am not going to do that today. I refuse to do that today. So, I stayed patient and I just waited. So, coming into today, my game plan was, what was that R stock? RGLS? RGLT or some shit? Can you just write it in the chat so I know which stock I'm talking about? The stock with the R. RLGS? I can't even remember it. Anyway, so my plan on that stock was, it was near $6 in the morning, and I wanted to short a 620 rejection, which is the red to green level, RLGY, thank you. I wanted to short the red to green level because that was going to give some sort of resistance. So 620 was the level that I was watching. And my game plan was short it when 620 rejects, not just when it hits 620. So in the morning, it went to 620, it hit 630, and then it went down, right? So something that's very important in trading is you shouldn't be looking for the top. You should be waiting for the top to be created and then piggybacking that trade after, piggybacking the bounce after the stock has popped, right? So what ended up happening is it went to 630, it went down to 618. There was a 100,000 share bidder at 618. And this is where the level 2 games come into play, right? This is where the level 2 games come into play. If someone is trying to fill 100,000 shares on the bid, chances are that they're not going to show anyone. Because if they show anyone, there's going to be people that front run them. There's going to be people that jump them. They're going to get a worse execution, and they would never do that. So most of the time, if you see a 100,000 share bid or 100,000 share ask, it is to manipulate the tape. It is to manipulate what you are seeing on the level 2 to make irrational decisions. So what most people do when they see that 100,000 share bidder is they'll cover their position on the ask, right? They'll cover their position on the ask. And what people don't realize is that same guy that is posting that 100,000 share bid, he's probably on the ask showing 1,000 shares trying to fill 100,000 to sell, right? So that's something to play important to pay attention to as well. Anytime I see a 100,000 share bid or an ask, there's always something that I like to do. I always want to see if it's real or not. And how can you tell if it's real? The way you can tell if it's real is if someone hits him and he keeps filling. The way that you can tell if it's not real is if he's at 618, the stock goes to 620, and then the next time it tests 618, he's not there. He disappeared as if he was never there. So what ended up happening on that stock today was they bid propped it at 618, they bounced it to 625, and then the moment the fucking bidder was gone, it just went straight down from 618 all the way to 570. Almost 50 cents straight down because there was no real demand. It was all artificial, right? It was all artificial. So that's kind of what happened today. So today I traded that stock. As soon as I saw that fake bid, I added to my winner. I used that fake bid as the confirmation that there's no real demand on the stock. And although I covered, in the 590s and I missed 20 cents, and yes, I could have made more money, I stuck to my process. I made $3,000 today, made back the loss. I had a good system. I stuck to my rules. I did not stray. So my confidence is back. My mental confidence is back. And that's the most important thing about trading. So that's kind of some of the topics that I want to talk about today. I wanted to also talk about what I talked about on Monday, which is kind of like the mental side of trading. So I've had a lot of sessions with Dr. Brett Steenbarger. I still have his cell phone number and his personal email. I reach out to him from time to time when I need help with my trading. He's an unbelievably nice guy. He is an incredible human being. He always wants to kind of help. And, he supports MIC. He loves MIC. He was at our New York meetup. The next New York meetup that we have, he's going to be there again. But he's just overall about finding the right community because there's a difference between a mentor and a guru, right? A guru is just going to give you alerts. A mentor is going to show you the process, and that's what makes MIC so special. Our slogan is mentorship is the shortcut to success. Bal's been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing it for 6 years. Tasha's been doing it for a long time. All together, we have almost 30 years of experience all together. I mean, if we are able to shorten your learning curve, that's kind of the key, because you don't want to be doing this shit alone. You could have your ego, you could pound your chest and say you did it alone, but you're going to be losing money for 7 years until you actually get it, whereas people in MIC are finding consistency in less than 6 months. So what I want to talk about is stressful trading. So in one of my sessions with Dr. Brett, we had a conversation about stress and what that does to your trading. He mentioned a story about how a trader at Paul Tudor Jones, who manages $100 million, came up to him for a session and a story. And this specific trader, which I'm not going to name names, was going through a divorce. He was going through a divorce. He's making a shitload of money, but he's going through a divorce. So this specific trader goes and talks to Tudor and says, hey, look, I'm going to be going through a divorce. I just want to kind of let you know this and that. And Tudor's like, this is what I want you to do. Keep in mind, this guy manages $100 million. Tudor says, you're taking 2 months off, no matter what. And the guy's like, what the hell are you talking about, 2 months off? I'll die if I take 2 months off. And the guy's like, you're mentally not stable. Going through a divorce is very tough. Having problems with your girlfriend, family, friends, whatever, significant other is tough. So at that level, at the highest level where you're managing $100 million, if you're going through a divorce and your boss tells you you have to take 2 months off, why are you, as a regular trader, if you get into a fight with your wife, get into a fight with your friends, you trade the next day? Most of the time you're going to lose money. So what me and Dr. Brett talked about was this. Trading should not be stressful. You should not be stressed in a trade, and here's why. Before you enter a trade, you need to have an entry plan, an exit plan, a stop, a target, and a thesis, right? You have to have all of these things together. And if you have all of these things together, you have absolutely no reason to be stressed or afraid or whatever, because you have a plan. You have a plan and you have a system, right? You have a plan and you have a system. The only time you feel stressed is if you don't plan your trades, if you're in too big, if you're winging it, right? So what we went over together is that if I am stressed in my trading, it means that I'm in the wrong trade. It means that I should not be in this trade right now. So what we came up with together is that any moment that I feel stressed in my trading, any moment that I feel uneasy in my trading, it means that I'm in the wrong trade and I should probably get out. So what we've kind of come up with is using that feeling of being stressed as the trigger in your head to say, hey, you're in the wrong trade, get the hell out of here, or reassess it, or you need a better plan or something. Because again, what I find is I find the most success in my own trading when I have a thesis, a plan, an entry, an exit, a stop, and a target. If I have all this shit even written down or in my head, I know not to be stressed because I'm just following my plan. I'm robotic. I have a plan if things go right. I have a plan about things going wrong, and that's the way that I need to trade. So again, that's something that was really, really, really important, something that really stuck with me during one of our sessions, and I shared it on Monday's Instagram Live, and I hope this one saves again because this is very valuable advice. Imagine, he's giving me advice from people that are managing hundreds of millions of dollars, that these funds have billions of dollars under management. And this trader who's going through a divorce is taking 2 months off. 2 months off from trading just so that he could get his mind right. Yet you, if you have a fight with your wife, you have a fight with your kids, you go trade bigger because you think it's going to help you. That's the difference between a professional trader and an amateur trader. So use these lessons as kind of your building blocks to refining your trading process. So remember that next time. The next time you feel stressed in a trade, remember, what did Alex say? What did Dr. Brett say? They said that I'm probably in the wrong trade. They said that I probably did not plan my trade correctly. They said that I need to do a little bit more work. So again, pre-plan all your trades, have a plan, have an entry, have an exit, have a stop, have a target, have a thesis, have everything. and your trading will become robotic. Your trading will not be stressful. And I know that, when I'm trading stress-free and when trading is boring is the way it should be. I don't want to fucking have action every day. I don't want to have fucking heart palpitations. I don't want to fucking rip my hair off. I don't want to be out of breath. I don't want to have high fucking blood pressure and this and that. That's not fun. What's fun to me is showing up every single day, doing my robotic trading, making my money, walking away, and locking it the fuck up. So today, I made my money, and yes, the stock went down lower. And to protect myself from getting greedy, talked to my broker and I said, hey, cut me off for the day. I don't want to trade for the rest of the day. And now I eliminate myself from the situation. So that's it. I'm going to bring Bao on too to talk about it. Hope this advice helps. Waiting for Bao to get in here. What's up, man? Oh, you're walking too?
Oh yeah, dude.
Classic.
I'm taking your advice. You know what? Dude, I'm listening to your stuff, and it's exactly, man. I don't know where you learned this from, Alex, but it's right on. This is weird, dude. I'm on IG Live as a guest. This is weird. I think it's the first time it happened.
So yeah, dude. Well, we want to talk about how to bounce back from a loss today. So I kind of covered the basics. If you want to kind of go into a little bit more detail about it.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight what Alex said, because it's actually the first time I heard it about stress being the indicator that you're in the wrong trade. Dude, This is profound, man. That's the first time. And actually, it's true. I don't think I've heard anybody ever say that, Alex. You're the first one I've heard it.
Dr. Brett is the first. Dr. Brett is the first.
You're the second. So, I mean, you guys think about this, man. I said it in a different type of way. It's like when we get into a trade, right? And when you're a beginner, you get into a trade. And then when the trade goes upside down, that's the first time you start doing your research, because you're trying to find reasons to stay in the trade. Because you're nervous, you're stressed out. You're like, let me find reason to make my stress less. And so you end up looking at filings and trying to convince yourself that what you're doing is correct when you know deep downside is wrong. So exactly right, Alex. I mean, dude, I wish all the new traders listen to this, okay? When you're feeling stressed, the first thing that comes to mind is, I'm going to fucking look for reasons to stay in the trade. That's wrong. When you're feeling stressed, like Alex said, get the fuck out. You already messed up. That is the trigger. Human instinct. That's the human instinct. Like when you see a tiger run at you, what's your first instinct? Get the fuck out. That is your danger, right? It's like fear or flight kind of thing. But when we're trading and we see we're upside down and wrong, and we're just standing there and that lion is going to eat us. So that's the odd part, right? And so we don't think about that, but that's right on, Alex. I mean, I'm going to start using that as well. Like when I'm feeling uneasy, instead of me looking for reasons to stay in the trade, I might just get out, because I can always get back in the trade. So that's a very good point, man. And you hit it right on the head about, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's gold. Like it's such an important rule.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Think of trading as like freaking going to the African safari, man. When you see this freaking lion run at you, what are you gonna do, right? You're gonna sit around and do research and say, well, lions really don't eat man. There's a 2% chance that he's gonna eat me. Right? That's exactly what you're doing when you're freaking like trying to research to stay in this trade. Well, it can't break this $3 line. Oh fuck, it just teleported to 450, right? I mean,
exactly.
I've just got to eat. So that's a good point. So you hit it on the head as well about the goal the next day is to be green. I start to think that now. I'm trying to change that a little bit. I realize that forcing yourselves to be green actually kind of fucks up your trading. So I've rethought about what I've been doing, and I think the better approach is the first thing you do is go back to your process. Forget about green or not, because at the end of the day, if you stick to your process, you should be green. You should be green. I mean, it's like we wake up every day because we know we will make money. If you have a doubt that you're not going to make money, you should not be trading. Why? It's like, you wake up each morning, you're going to get into your car and you're going to drive and you're not going to die. You're going to get to your destination. But if you're always fearful you're going to die, you should not get in the car, because that's going to affect the way you trade. So it's the same thing and with green, but I think the easier approach to teach people, I just thought about this now. It's just go back to your process. The reason you lost because you deviate from your process. It's not because you wanted to make money or lose money and be green. It's because we deviate from the process. So you know what we did today? We went back to our process.
Exactly.
You know
We
what I'm
went
saying?
back to
So,
what's been paying us in the first place.
yep. So it yielded green because it should yield green. Our process works. Our strategy works. And if we stick to it, we should be green. So don't think about just P&Ls anymore. In my opinion, I think we go back to our process because once we start going by our process, we forget that, we fucked up yesterday, all this stuff, because we're now trading out of a reflex. We're robotic trading. We're systematic, all the things you've said. And so at the end of the day, it should yield green. So, we shouldn't have that doubt that it's going to grow green. Because does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, perfect sense. Perfect sense.
So I think that's what we do. But behind the scenes, we always want to. So that's what kind of screwed me up today, to be honest. So I stuck to the process. But I wanted to close green like nicely so badly that I think I didn't like maximize my trades or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter what the reason is. But it's like, it's completely fine. That's human nature, right? We're scared. We don't want to fucking fuck up again. So I'll give you an example of what I did incorrectly today out of that fear. So RLGY, you did nice. You held through all that. You were down. We were both down on that stock, RLGY. But what Alex did nicely was he stuck to it because he stuck to his plan. That was his plan. And RLGY is a low-hanging fruit. And it's like 90% success rate on low-hanging fruits, right? And so, but for me, I had this fear. You know why the fear came? Because I lost on the same stock Alex lost on yesterday, CHMA.
Yep.
Okay. And then when I'm looking at that RLGY, I'm like, fuck, dude. All I can think about is like, I don't want to get fucked again. I don't want to get fucked again.
It's PTSD.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So what I did was I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm going to cut it off. I broke even on it. I had 5,000 shares short at 620, 617 average, which is not bad. And then when it went to like 10 cents over, I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, I didn't lose that much, but I'm like, oh man, what if it gaps up $1? What if it teleports? You see what I'm saying? So it's a PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, right? And that's because, you know what, man? I didn't trust my process. I wanted to close green so badly that I said, fuck this shit. And then, of course, the process yielded a lot of profits, right?
Yeah.
But then I went back to my process and traded the other stocks like I usually trade. I look at the lines like DMPI, I made money on that. And I'm just like, dude, I just stuck to my process. I made money. Where we deviated was what we lost money. And so I actually deviated on RLGY. If I did not lose yesterday, I would have been in that stock. I would have made money. So I actually lost like $100, which is nothing, obviously. It's break even for me, right? But the point is, you see what happened? I deviated once again from my process. I wanted to close green so badly that I cut it off at break even when I should just trust in my process. Because yesterday, the reason I lost yesterday is not because of the process. It's because I deviated from the process. You see what I'm saying? We both deviated. What I did was I used too much size on the front side, disregarding all these rules that we had. And then CHMA teleported on us and we lost. So going back today, I did the same thing in the morning, RLGY. I went back to my process and I had a great average. 5,000 shares at 617 short. You know what I'm saying? So I deviated from the process by like, fuck, dude. So I micromanaged my stock, which I usually do not. I let the trades play out. You see what I'm saying? I was like, why should I be scared, dude? The goal was I wanted 620 line to short, and I got 620 line to short. But, I deviated from a process because I wanted to not be red so badly. Same thing as when you deviate from your process by wanting to make money so badly, you lose. So you should not force your trades. So that made me think, like, the approach about closing green is a great idea, but that should be a result, a byproduct of sticking to your process. So ongoing, I may try that. Instead of just forcing myself to be green, I'm just going to trust in my process because my process made me money 9 out of 10 days. It's when I deviate from my process, I lose money. That kind of makes sense?
Makes perfect sense. That's actually true because like you said, if you stick to your process, you're going to be green anyway. So you should focus on getting back to what made you green the entire days and weeks and months before.
Correct. Because the whole thing is this, man. We lose because we do not trust our process. And so that's the breakdown in confidence. And so if you cannot trust your confidence on the next day, what shot you got ongoing, then you're going to be scared all the time because you're like, I want to end green. I want to end green. So you need to trust your process. If your process is broken, that's a different story. If your process is broken, then you recognize it, then you rebuild your process, change your strategy. But if your process is not broken and you only lost because you deviated from it, that's a simple fix, right? Go back to your process.
Yep, makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
But do you see, guys, how fear affects everybody, including people like myself who's been training for a long time?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, so this is very common, guys. Don't think it's just you. You don't. I mean, fear is, man. I've seen great traders never make it back because they had one episode where they lost, and they're scared for the rest of their life.
Like BPTH, that guy, 16 million.
It's not just the monetary. I've seen guys just not lose like that much money, but it's just their confidence. Once your confidence is broke, you're fucked. And if no one's going to help you and say, hey, man, you know, like all the IG lives we're talking about today. I mean, we do IG lives twice a week on purpose. People go, why are you doing this when you're walking around? Why are you doing that? Because half of the trade, guys, is mental. We know what we need to do on a technical level. But, I mean, can you maintain that discipline, not be fearful, trust in your process? You know, that's half of the trade. Half of the trade is mental. What I went through today, what Alex went through today is all mental. I got stopped out of RLGY for a tiny loss because I was scared. I did not trust my process. My process works. Our process of low-hanging fruits fucking works. Look at where it is. Went down to 570. 50 cents collapse.
Unbelievable.
I mean that is basically the only way you can hold through that is trusting your process. And the fact that, man, how much did it squeeze over us? Maybe 6 cents, 10 cents. You feel what I'm saying? Which is normally nothing for me. But I was so scared because I wanted a green day so badly that I fucking...
You were shell-shocked.
Yeah. But
sure.
thankfully, I went back to my bread and butter, which are these fucking scammy $2 stocks, and I nailed it. So, and that's another thing too, because RLGY and CHMA are outside of our niche, man. These are like stocks with like 100 million, like that RLGY with like 130 million volume.
With 70% institutional ownership and shit like that. We don't usually touch that stuff.
So you see what I'm saying? So the fact that I went out of my niche to trade those yesterday and lost gave me what made me scared. You know what I'm saying? It made me fucking scared. So one bad act leads to another. And thankfully, you know, that was the MPI, which kind of snapped me back because but what I did great on that was this, guys. I fixed my mistake from CHMA yesterday. So yesterday, what I did was I put too much size out there. And I didn't think that they would come and sweep them, but they swept them all. They went up 2 points.
In less than a minute. Less than a minute, too, man.
So what I did today was I didn't put out size. I was like, why am I putting out fucking size? So I put out starter entries, like way up high, like very tiny. And so I actually scaled in very small. And that's how I was able to scale and nail all that. So I actually used what I did wrong yesterday to learn to do today. Today I did great housekeeping. I was not lazy to change my orders. I was trading as if like I should be trading like a robot, not loosey-goosey because I've been up for like 10 days, you know, things like that.
Yeah, that's also a problem. If you're on a very big winning streak, you feel like you have to continue that winning streak and you can't take a loss, and that usually leads to the mother of all losses.
Yep. And so you know what happens? You can either deny it and keep making the same mistakes over, or change it. So I've actually started using hard stops. Me, dude, I haven't used a hard stop in 20 years. So, I mean, I've been trying to play around with it. So, I mean, dude, I don't want to keep doing that, right? So I'm like, fuck, dude, these happen all the time.
Yeah.
So you as yourself have to basically change something that you normally fucking like, even if that's a bad habit. I have a lot of bad habits. So, I mean, that, you know, hearing all this helps because I'm telling you, man, these IG lives are very crucial because we're giving an example of the tab, Trading Accountability Buddy. Alex is mine. You guys are all my tabs right now. we do these IG lives because we are talking about our losses. We are talking about our wins. We are sharing our trading experiences. And by talking with another trader, it helps us. Imagine if you don't have anybody to talk to. How the fuck are you going to get over your loss? How the hell are you going to learn from your mistakes? You wouldn't know what to do.
You're right. Sorry, let me move away from this truck. My ex-girlfriend.
They're picking up your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, they're picking up my ex-girlfriend today.
Is it next to mine?
No, but you're right, dude. You're right. You're 100% right. At the end of the day, trading, you could even say, is 70% mental. You could have the right mechanics. You could know exactly what to do. But if your brain is not stable, if you are not in tip-top mental condition, you don't stand a chance, right? You don't stand a chance. That's why we keep emphasizing the fact that if you have a fight with your girl, or you're having a bad situation at home, or you're arguing with your kids or something like that, you should not be trading. It is okay to take a day off. Remember, at Tudor, they take 2 months off. So it's okay for you to take a day off just to kind of get your thoughts back together.
Yep. And fortunately, we have a system called a tab in MIC. But if you don't have, if you're not a member of MIC, go make a tab right now. All the guys are on Instagram Live right now, guys. There's 92 people currently logged on.
Or even better, come to our meetup on Saturday, August 17th. So again, we're going to keep talking about it every single day. So August 17th is our 1-year anniversary. We're having a free meetup in Philadelphia at the Liberty View.
Free, guys.
Free. So you don't have to pay anything. There's going to be a cash bar. There's going to be snacks. There's going to be all these things. Come network with other traders. Trading is very lonely. You will not find another trader in your area. But in Philly, you're going to be in a room surrounded by hundreds of traders that understand what you're going through, that trade the same stocks that you do. Maybe you'll find a guy that trades futures or options or crypto or this or that. And then that way, you can network with them. You can have them be your trading accountability buddy. You could trade together, bounce ideas off each other. And again, it's free. Show up and just be outgoing, because traders are very introverted. They're very quiet. They're very lonely, but they all have the same interest, which is trading. And being able to talk about trading with other traders that understand what you're going through is priceless. So that's all.
It's a support system, guys. Everybody needs a support system. I mean, that's why we do these things. We do these things to not only help you guys, but to help us. Seriously, it helps me tremendously when I talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So it helps if you talk about it to someone else as well. So make friends in the trading community, because you know what, man? You need support, and at the same time, learning is going to be much, much quicker with 2 people than 1 person.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is all about education, guys. And we are still learning every day. I'm learning every day, dude. How can a guy like me be scared of a fucking 10-cent move on a $6 stock? I mean, I feel fucking stupid. I mean, I spend more money at the bar, right? But I was so focused on the P&L. I was so focused on not getting trapped again. I was so focused that I fucking was scared of a 10-cent move.
It's all in your head. That was the problem.
Yep. Exactly. But the thing is, you know, it worked out because, you know what? It's better. If you have doubts, seriously, guys, if you have doubts, it's better not to be in the trade. Like Alex said. I'd rather be crying about missed opportunity than to lose and say, fuck, I knew it. I should have got out. Yep. Does that make sense? So if you're fearful, guys, don't cry over what coulda, shoulda, woulda, like me. Okay? I cry about just to cry about for fun, but I'm like, dude, man, me making that money is not going to be beneficial to me as much as is detriment to me if I lost money. If I had lost money on that, my confidence would be gone, dude. I would be so scared of trade. So sometimes it's best if you have these PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I call it post-trading. Poor trading. It's poor trading stress disorder. That's PTSD. Poor trading stress disorder.
You're so fast with this shit, dude.
Maybe that's why I broke up with my girl. Yeah, poor trading stress disorder. So it's better, seriously, guys. If you like, that's why it resonated with me, Alex, when you said about what Dr. Brett said about if you're stressed, you're in the wrong trade, or you're sizing too big. And so
Yeah.
my starter was, I was in 5,000 shares, and that was just my starter. So I was oversized, and that's the reason why I covered. I knew my mistake. I would normally take a smaller position, like 2,500 shares, and then add when I'm up, adding to a winner. I was sized too much, too quickly, and then PTSD happened. So, but those are the signs I saw. I said, man, I felt a little uneasy. And so I just fucking bailed. And crying over lost potential is much better than crying over real losses.
Correct.
So remember, you can't fix this in one day, guys. I mean, I've gone through a lot of losses in my life. I know how to fix it myself, but at the same time, everyone has a different way of doing it. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. That was great topics, man. Seriously. Awesome stuff. That stress thing, I think we should talk about that more too next time as well. Like, that's like the perfect trigger in your head to know that things are going wrong. If you are trading stress, it means that you don't have a plan. It means that you're probably in too big, and use that as your trigger to say, let me just get out a second. Let me run away from the tiger. Let me reassess, and then I could come back if I have a better plan of attack.
So why I thought about it now, why I oversized is because I wanted to make back the losses and then double the wins. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck this shit. It can't beat me again. And so I sized up too quickly, but it's not even that big of a size, but at the same time, I deviated from my process. I was too quick once again, and it triggered PTSD. So you have to get back to your process. So when I got back to my process, I started making money again on DMPI because I sized down on DMPI. I let it go range, went all the way up to $2.60. So if I had sized at $2, I'd be fucking blown out of the water and lost. So I went back to my process about using small size on the front side.
Yeah, makes sense. Perfect.
Cool,
man. Thanks for coming on.
You want to take another question? If we can, if anybody wants to get on. But all right, man.
Yeah, I'll
take it off.
Yep. I'll see you, Bao.
Thanks, man.
All right, I'm gonna bring on someone to ask a question. So if you are interested, I will pick you. Let me know. You could write in the chat if you want me to pick you, and I can pick you from there too. Anyone want to come on? Let me see if I can just pick someone at random. I'll bring on Nick. Go live. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Alex? How you doing, man?
Good. What's up? So you want to tell everyone your name and MIC? I remember we invited you to the Philly event, but let's just kind of like go through it again.
100%. My name at MIC is Nick Ved. It's just my first and last name abbreviated. Been at MIC since November. Loved every moment of it. Really just wanted to talk to you about the mental aspect of trading because that's just where I'm kind of struggling at right now.
Talk to me. What's your question?
Yeah, definitely. So like right now, I'm kind of just taking a step away from my real account because just kind of like Bao said with trying to make back his losses, like that's my mindset, and that's the wrong mindset. You know, I've been doing this 4 years, but not consistently profitable. You know, I've been losing money each year, and that's my problem is like, okay, I'm just going back to make my losses back because I've been doing this for so long. Like I should, be able to do that, but that's just the whole wrong process. So I realized, it's better just leave the real money alone because that's just being hurt by my thought process. So I'm kind of taking a step back, paper trading, just like recording setup, seeing what I'm seeing, see where I would have taken some trades. But how do you kind of bounce back? Like, how do you reset almost your mindset? Maybe not after one loss, but, a bad streak.
Sure, yeah. So this is, first of all, great question. So what I've noticed for me is that if I'm red 2 or 3 days in a row, I start to spiral.
Right.
My mindset is all screwed up. I think to myself, what the hell am I doing? Do I even know how to trade?
Exactly.
What am I? What the hell is going on? I was on fire last month. This month I can't get anything to stick. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, am I the problem? Is the market the problem? It's probably the
Exactly.
market. It's not me. This and that stupid shit like that. So, something that has helped me in the past is actually, believe it or not, taking a vacation, just taking time off. And that doesn't mean staying home. That means leaving your comfort zone of being home. So, for example, I remember one time I was having trouble trading. I wasn't really trading that well. I think I was red 3 days in a row. And you know
Hmm.
what I ended up doing is I just like I'm from New Jersey, right? I'm from New Jersey. So I went
Right.
and I took a flight to Boston to visit some friends in Boston. And I went for the weekend. I went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I just forgot about everything trading. I just wanted to
Right.
leave trading in the rear view. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to mess around with it. I didn't even want to have the apps on my phone to check the tickers, right? So what I ended
Yeah.
up doing is I left my comfort zone of being home. I left the state. I left everything that kind of brings me the same things every day. And I hung out with some friends in
Hmm.
Boston. And what I did during that time is, go out and eat dinner. I went out and tried to like explore the world and be outside and just do something that didn't have to do with sitting behind a computer. I
Right.
wanted to refresh my brain. I wanted my brain to kind of hit the plug out and plug back in. So after doing that and after coming back, I was excited to trade again. The only thing on my mind was I can't wait to trade again and be excited and do the right thing rather
Right.
than I want to make the money back. So maybe a
Exactly.
weekend is enough because when I went to Greece and when I was in Greece and I was away for a week, I didn't think about trading. There was a big time difference. And
Right.
all I wanted to do when I came back was just to kind of slowly ease into it, slowly get back into it. And for example, if my max size is 10,000 shares every single
Hmm.
day, when I came back from Greece, I made my max size 5,000 shares. It's like imagine riding a bike and you know how to ride a bike and after 10 years of not riding a bike, after maybe like 5 minutes of doing it, you could get back on it. For trading,
Right.
what I feel like is after you haven't been trading for an extended period of time, you should scale down your size until you are able to get the trading wheels off your bike again. So
Yeah, I agree
after
with
you
that.
find that small consistency with that small size is when you kind of give yourself the permission to kind of skies back up. So in your example, if you're kind of struggling right now, I don't know if you have any friends or family from outside of where you are, but it even does you don't have to leave the state. I just want you to kind of leave the trading apps, delete everything that has to do with trading. Just take a 1 week detox, and that means no fucking trading videos, no fucking uh, trading Instagram, YouTube, all this stuff. Cut it off completely, so that you could kind of
Hmm.
flush out your brain. And then after your brain is flushed out, you're going to be so much more excited to get back into trading. And the only thing that's going to be on your mind is trading and trading well rather than how
Well,
am I going to
right.
make this loss back?
Yeah.
Because right now
Yeah.
your head is all
It's messed
jacked
up.
up. It's all
Right.
jacked up. And
It's
if
messed
you
up.
don't do something to fix it, it's going to domino. You're going to get
Right.
worse and worse and worse.
Right.
So get away, get out in the real world a little bit, get away from trading 5 days, 6 days, and then you'll be surprised how much you miss it and how much you love it and how much you
Right.
just want to get back into it.
Because that's the other thing. It's tough, because like I know you obviously have the same passion as me, so it's like,
I
you
hate
know,
taking days off. I cannot.
exactly,
I hate it. I
exactly,
hate it more
and
than
it's
anything.
yeah,
And
and
it's
it's tough just
usually,
not to look at a chart even
trust me, I
sometimes.
get it. I get
Right.
it all the time. I get it because I know exactly how you are. It's my passion. It is something that I truly, truly love.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, it is only until I take a forced vacation that I realize how much I really needed it. Because not only am I a workaholic and I love working and I love trading and this and that, I don't ever schedule time for me. I don't ever have me time.
Right.
It's always trying to do something else, right? So for me, when I planned my Greece trip, I was planned 6 months in advance, and the day just came, and I was like, "Shit! Like, I guess I'm gonna go to Greece now." But
Right.
uh, the forced time off is important because if you say to yourself right now that next month I'm gonna take a week off, or no, you say today that you're gonna take a week off starting today, you force yourself to do it, you would be really surprised at how much it's going to help you, seriously,
Yeah.
because we always forget that our brain is like a muscle too. It needs to
It
rest
is.
and relax as well. And if we're just
Right.
going on and on and on and on, nonstop, 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 it's going to burn out as well. right? It's going to burn out as well. So to
Yeah.
prevent it from burning out, hang out with some friends, get some steak, drink some things, smoke some hookah, whatever it's going to be,
Right.
and just flush it out. Flush it
Yeah,
out, flush it
definitely.
out,
That's
flush it out.
great
Delete the
advice
apps,
because
delete everything, man, and don't even look at it.
yeah, that's awesome. Just because like, I've probably just been at the computer like, 5 hours a day, like 3.5 years.
It's not. It's tough and it's depressing too. It's
It is,
depressing to be in
especially when
front
you
of the
just
screen.
don't see any progress. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yesterday, I was in front of the screen from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. as punishment,
Right.
and I was like, "Yo, I cannot wait for the market to close and I could start
Right.
drinking." And
Yeah.
I just want to drink so I get a different change of environment. Whereas
Yeah.
if I'm trading normally, I don't give a fuck about drinking on the weekdays. I have a
Right.
rule: do not drink on weekdays. Do
Exactly.
not
Right.
do anything on weekdays. Keep your mind sharp on the weekdays. So again, be sure to mentally refresh. Be sure to take that forced time off. Force yourself starting today to take fucking a week off. Till what day is today? Today's Wednesday. Take it until next Wednesday off. And when I say take it off, don't log in anywhere. Do not look at a video. Do not do anything. Go watch a movie. Go watch a Spider-Man movie. Go hang out with your mom. Go do something with your brother. Go hang out with your friends. Go
Right. Just
to the
realize
mall. Do
why you're
something.
even trading in the first place. I feel like that's the problem.
Correct.
Is,
Remember why
yeah,
you are doing it in the first
I'm
place.
trying to set my mom up, have freedom, and it's just like
Exactly.
doing the opposite right now. Yeah, it's counterintuitive.
Exactly. Go hang out with her. She probably misses you. She probably hasn't seen you much and this and that.
Right.
Like just go back to being a human first so that your brain can kind of get back to normal, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah. That's
Bao
awesome
says he wants to
advice,
come
man.
on too. Bao says he wants to come on. So let me bring Bao on and he probably has some advice too.
My guy.
Cool. We'll be back in a sec, Nick.
For sure, man.
All right. Let me bring Bao on now. Go live. Waiting for Bao to come in here. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I wanted to comment on what Nick said because
Sure.
Nick's is pretty profound, man. I feel that. I feel it deep in my heart whenever I hear people say that, because man, we've all been there, and it just fucking sucks, man. And we don't know why we are not finding the success that we think we should. It comes down to two things, in my opinion. One is what you just said, Alex. Too much pressure. Too
Yeah.
much pressure upon ourselves to perform.
Perform.
Performance anxiety kills athletes, kills everybody. So
Yeah, man.
sometimes that's why these athletes go through slumps. They have a sports psychologist they talk to. So we can't afford one. So maybe you talk to your tab, someone, and just vent out to them. They become your sports psychologist, your trading psychologist. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But I wanted to talk about this because this is something that I don't think people have addressed. What if your strategy is wrong? So no matter what you do, you're not going to make money. So you have to consider that. Just because you think you're disciplined, you can be disciplined all you want. But if you're trading the wrong strategy, you're going to lose money. So you have to go back and examine your strategy and ask. So a simple way to do this is this. Okay, this is how you know if your strategy is working or not. If you stick to your process and you do not deviate from your process and you are still losing consistently, you're consistently losing, it means it's not you, man. It's not your process. It's not you. It's your strategy. Your strategy is faulty. It needs to be re-examined. So go back to your tab, go talk to our mentors, figure out, is it you or is it your flawed strategy? Because if you are doing everything correctly, entering where you should be entering in your process, exiting, stopping out, taking the proper losses, and you're still finding inconsistency, that means your strategy is wrong. I'm going to tell you something. How do you know if your strategy is right? I mean, it took years, man, a lot of losing to figure that out. Some people would never find a winning strategy. We call it edge. In other words, a strategy. We provide these strategies in MIC, but you know what, man? At the end of the day, you have to find your own and make it your own. And so, Nick, don't feel bad. It may not be you, bro. It may not be you. It could be as simple as a wrong, flawed strategy. And someone in your tab group or a mentor can go over what you're doing and tell you if your strategy is correct. Does it make sense? Like, no, even if you do performance 100% and your strategy is flawed, you're going to lose money. You want to comment on that, Alex? I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe what you could do is you could, after some of your trades, you could hop on a call with Tosh or Aloha and review your trades together and see what you could do better and what needs some work. You know.
correct. So don't feel disappointed, man. Because I mean, a lot of times, like in the beginning, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing everything right, but I keep losing. And it turns out, dude, I'm not fucking. I am shorting when I'm not supposed to be shorting. I'm covering when I'm not supposed to be covering. Things like that, right? And so at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck, dude. It's not really me. It's just because I didn't know this right strategy. And so once you know the right strategy, you build the process around that. So if you're consistently unprofitable, it may not be your process. It may not be your discipline. It may be your strategy, guys. So take a look at your strategy.
Makes sense. That was really good.
Yep. So, I mean, dude, we don't know what it is. The thing is we have to find the root of the problem, okay? So it's very simple. Nick, this is my advice to you. We don't know what it is. What you can do is this. Start to your entry. Stick to it and see if that is making money. If it's still not making money and you're sticking to your process, it means your strategy is flawed. Make sense? So we're trying to figure out what is the problem. Is the problem the human factor or is it a technical problem? Technical meaning a flawed system, a flawed strategy. And that's why trading is tough, man. You can have the perfect strategy, but if the human component is lacking, you cannot execute it. So you need both. If you are the most disciplined trader trading the wrong strategy, you will lose. So you need to be both. Your girlfriend came back?
No, there's a helicopter in the air. They forgot to deliver it to my house.
All right,
That's
man.
great advice. That's great advice. Thanks,
I want to
pal.
talk about that. All right, man.
Later. All right, guys. This was, I think, one of the best Instagram lives I think we've ever done. We talked about the mental side of trading. We talked about how to bounce back from a loss. We talked about stress as a trigger. We talked about what you do if you were inconsistent as a trader. So this is one that seriously is one that you should be watching over and over again. The advice in here is priceless. So again, thanks everyone that came in here, and we'll see you August 17, 18, and 19 in Philly for the 1-year event. Thanks, guys.